Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Spellbinder's Report. I've just watched a video on YouTube called The Quickening, and it's very enlightening, I would say. It talks of what's to happen in the very near future by October 28th of this year, with the coming of Ilium and two other comets in the Hopi legend of the North and the South Guardians, and of the red and the blue Quickening, and that the Hopis talked about. And then this is their mission. The person I saw it on was Alone, which is The Quickening by Al Moon. And this is where I've seen it at on here. But to go to the mission itself, I went to their website, since they have it on the video, to go and check it out. And this is our mission. Awakening as One exists for the sole purpose of encouraging humanity to return to God and to realize that it isn't our place to create the world according to our ideals, but rather we are being asked to live, love all, and lead the way in helpfulness, trusting that the big issues that we seem so helpless to change are actually serving a purpose, which is to inspire humanity to turn inwards and seek faith in the God the Father, divine will, God the Mother, divine thought, and God the Son, divine love. Thus realizing that the world is in its present state because of our desire to create and control it according to our own dualistic ideals. We believe now that our planet's healing will come by a complete 180-degree reversal through a surrender of our personal will to the divine will of the Tao, and by thus realizing that all events and orchestrators of the shift have a place and a purpose for which to be thankful and loving, we may trade our fears and false perceptions in for faith, and in so doing we will learn to see that heaven is not a place or a prize, but rather it is a state of mind, and that it is this faithful state and the love that accompanies it that will allow us to face and flow through all of events of the approaching shift in the grace and helpfulness. Have faith, for we are awakening as one. And that is a pretty good mission statement. They go through up here, they show the home page, The Quickening, which is the name of the video, which you can see on Vimeo. It's 1 hour, 16 minutes long. And they're basically saying the quickening has begun. All around the planet, hundreds of millions of people are waiting for the events to unfold in the year 2012 that they believe will bring either the birth of a harmonious new reality or the end of the world. But what if those events were actually to take place this year in 2011? Signs. The signs. Please note the following resource materials provided to support information presented in our film Revelations in the chapter titled Deliverance. If you have not seen Revelations, please do so by clicking here before reading this material. Also note that the underlined words and phrases on this page are links to additional support material, which we urge you to watch for a more in-depth understanding of the topic. As the quickening intensifies during the approach of the imminent day of return, the increasingly intense as the forces that benefit most from our current system of separation and self-service use all of the technology and resources at their disposal in their final attempts to preserve the old and outmodeled world of duality. Already today, these forces have begun to emerge their plan, which is intended to create the belief in such a hopeless state for humanity that we will be willing to accept obedience to any law or savior that comes along, regardless of how oppressive or far-fetched they may seem, and in exchange for the right to continue living and working to support our current system of governance and authority. With thanks to the tireless work of other seekers, we present the following information with the intention of encouraging others to seek, and so be liberated by their own understanding of the truth, and rather than reaching in fear as you hear these words, we would humbly urge you to consider how the scale and scope of these events have been designed to set you free. And it goes on with that. I'm having, my cat's having a moment here, and so I'm trying to pet my cat and keep it away from the computer, keyboard, and other things while I tell you this. And so now we ask you to center yourself in your heart and to realize that you hear these words, that there is no victim or aggressor in this story, for each of us in our own self-interest, ambition, and indifference has played a part in making this world exactly what it is. And know, too, that these plots and plans that are being hatched by those on the shadow side of life are in fact serving the divine plan that will provide each member of humanity the necessary opportunity to choose between the self and the surrender of self. That said, the essence of the shadow plan is to achieve total control of the world's wealth, population, and resources, so that similar to what we have today, the masses will work to support the luxurious existence of those who hold power. However, unlike today, where most people have the liberty to travel, speak, and worship as they choose, the aim of this new world order will be to have humanity relinquish these freedoms in exchange for promise of safety and security from the purported threats of poverty, pestilence, war, death, and phantom, and may I add, terrorist. These servants of duality plan to achieve this and have already begun to do so by uniting the world under one world economy, one world government, one world religion. However, or here, it is essential to understand that the dangers prevalent within this plan go beyond the threat to personal liberties and even physical safety. For it is the sole purpose of these forces to bind souls to this world of duality, and this will be achieved not only in those souls who rise up to oppose these forces, but also in those who, out of fear for self, agree to continue working for the system and thereby supporting the actions of the shadow. Thus, the key is to how one may transit through these challenging times is to seek the truth that heaven is neither a place nor a prize. It is a state of mind, and when one learns to see that all beings and events have a place and a purpose for which to be thankful and loving, then may we find the faith that will allow us to live our truth without fear or aggression, and from this faith will come love and the willingness to live in a loving service of all. And so, without further ado, let us examine the signs that are pointing to the end of the world as we know it, and to the moment of humanity's imminent choice and opportunity. That's really a biblical thing. It says, love thy enemy, which would be these elitist control freaks of the world, these sociopaths and psychopaths that's running the world. To fuse them out would be to love them instead of hating them. And this is exactly what this is coming to talk about. And these are many more video clips supporting what they're disgusting about the big brother state in the New World Order, or the one world government. Global governments, EU President meant a one world government to come because it supports them. It's everything for them and nothing for us except our servitude to them. Them being our new kings and queens to prance around in robes and make us bow and grovel at their feet. I think I'm going to leave it off here for now. I'll leave a link to this website and also to that video, so you can see what's going on here, what's really happening between the perspectives of the Mayans and the Hopi Indians, and what's really coming very soon, not 21st of December 2012, but October 28th of 2011. The reason I'm saying this is because why was there an In Search Of back in the 70s talking about the Mayan calendar ending this year, 2011, instead of 2012? Because they were trying, the world governments and others in academia were trying to make you believe it was next year, to totally catch you off guard. But to know that this is coming and how to prepare for it is the key of survival and of actually transcendence from the third density to the fifth density, and to be able to become what we are meant to be, above the angels. Not gods, just above the angels. That's also biblical, that we will rise above the angels, and that's why there was a war in heavens over the human race. We have something in our DNA, our being, we have the spark of God within us. And this is what these elitists and the fallen ones, the fallen angels, does not want you to know, is what we really are. That God created us to be His sons, every last one of us, and daughters, and not to be beneath the angels, but to be above the angels that He created before us. And that is the secret that's been kept from you for thousands of years, since the fall of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Well, until next time, I'm going to leave it here, and I'll talk to you later. This is Spellbinder's Report. Be good at it, and prepare your mind and your soul for forgiveness and love. Good day.